Well, welcome everybody to Angels of Ascension. If we've never met, I am Shekinah. I am here for the Ascension, and I'm here with my clubhouse friend, Yash Ranka. Did I say that? Yeah, right, Yash.
Yes, thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you for having me, Shakina.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for agreeing to do this because this is part of a series that I'm doing called Life After Religion. Okay. And I wanted to talk to Yash because he's been coming in the clubhouse rooms for a long time with just his beautiful, elevated energy, and we all love him. And so I asked him to do this interview to shed a little light on what it's like to awaken and expand in the Hindu religion. So I'm just gonna, Yash, if you would just introduce yourself, tell everybody where you're from and a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello everyone. I'm Yash from India and from the southeast of India, and I've been here my whole life. And I just I'm a spiritual being. And I recently, last year in 2022, I joined a clubhouse where I participated with Shakina here, and I got into her group of Angels of Ascension, and we connected. We spoke about a lot of things, and we have a beautiful community there. And yeah, and I'm just loving this part of self growth, support, and growing with each other.
Yeah.
And about me personally, what do I say? I'm just
Well, how many brothers and sisters
living my
do you
life
have?
here.
How many brothers and
Uh,
sisters do you have? How large was your family, or how small?
oh yeah, I live with my family, with my parents, and I have a younger brother too. And I've been with them since my birth, and we still live together. And yeah, that's it.
It's awesome. Is that a common thing to live with the family there?
Yes, yeah. In India here, it's pretty common to live with your family, and it really depends on how you want to take forward with your life, because there are different kind of people who move on. Like if they want to live their family, they live with their family, but if they want their own privacy, they leave the house and they shift somewhere else. Or if there's some kind of conflict, they just talk to each other and they move out. Or it can be various reasons. There are actually many reasons that either they live together or they not, but traditionally they live together because they say that uh, the whole lineage, whoever is alive, when they live together, they kind of form a bond, uh, and they form this energy of oneness and um, expansion of growth of the family and all that. So, but
Yeah.
but
How has that
yeah,
how has that impacted you as you have awakened and your consciousness has expanded? How has that affected you and the family?
yeah. So since I was born, within the first year of my birth, my parents came away from my grandparents and they started living separately. And I've been living with my parents, just my parents, since then. And I'm actually personally kind of glad that happened, because a lot of um, the old generation, they have this, sometimes, not all of them, but a lot of them do have this mentality of control, and they try to control your life, and also navigate your life and how it's supposed to go, instead of asking you what you want to do. So I'm glad that we separated from that, but I still had to deal with my parents because they themselves had a huge deal, huge deal to deal with. So yeah, um,
Did they have
yeah,
certain ideas of what they wanted you to be and do?
exactly. Yeah, that's quite. in almost every house here, like, because the culture is very different here. The parents usually, they try to navigate your life because they think that they know everything, and I kind of disagree with that. And because um as we take birth as children, like, we come with new DNA, new forms of experiences from our past lives, uh, new energies, and our own authentic self takes birth. I understand that we uh, have to be taken care of until a certain age, but uh, not to be controlled, our whole life. So, yeah.
Right. Well, I have spent my whole life breaking out of that control mentality. I think we all have. And so let's get into the topic. I want to talk about how the Hindu religion, like myself, I was born into Christianity, but you were born into Hinduism. We didn't have a choice on that. We're just, that's what you incarnated into, and that's what you're dealt. Those are the cards you're dealt, so to speak. So, how has well, let's just talk about Hinduism and the faith itself. Like, when I started researching a little bit about this to talk to you, like with a little bit of knowledge, not much, but a little bit, um, I was blown away, like some of the facts I found about it. Like, it has no original origin, so to speak. Like, nobody, there's not a guru or someone who invented Hinduism. It's the oldest known religion, and they have given so much to the spiritual community, the chakra systems, just so much, the Sanskrit, just a whole lot. Let's talk about how maybe some of the good things that you have brought with it on your consciousness expansion. Is there things that you still like? Yeah, that's good. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of good things that even I follow till date, which is like, one of them is chanting, chanting of, whether it can be chanting of prayers, or it can be of the gods, reciting the name of the god. It can, even if we don't believe in the god, we can still feel the energy while chanting the name. And we understand that there's some kind of divine flow of energy behind that source, behind that chanting, reciting, and all that. And um, another part is prayers. A lot of prayers, like, there are different prayers, different scripts, and people pray almost every day of their life, and which is good. Prayer brings miracles, right? So that's another good thing that I really follow in my life. Yeah. And there are so many other things as well, but uh, like, idol worship is one of the biggest things here. But I personally think that it's an individual's choice how you want to uh, believe in God. It can be idol, or it can be just within yourself. You can just think of the light and source and just pray, just with intention. You don't have to do an idol worship, because there's idol worship is like a huge thing here in the whole of India, especially amongst Hindus. um, and
When you say idol,
they have,
when
yeah.
you say idol, could you define that for someone who doesn't understand what you're talking about there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there are many gods and goddesses in the Hindu religion here. So they create statues of all their forms, which look like humans, but who knows what God is like? It's formless, right? So they create these human-looking idols of the gods and goddesses, and they have like so many temples. They also have small size idols in each individual Hindu houses, if they choose to keep it. And they have a separate section for that. It's called a puja room, where they keep that space just for idols and gods and goddesses, and they maintain that divine energy over there and do the prayers every day over there. And they also light a candle, like not a candle, like it's called a diya, where they just light this uh, let's just say candle for now, but they just light this candle for the gods, and they pray over there. They put flowers, and if somebody chooses to, they also keep food for the gods. And yeah, but yeah, that's how it is going on. But I don't follow everything personally, because I do everything with intention. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And that's where I feel like we are as an expanded star-seeded beings, that we don't, a religion is dictated, you must do this way or it's not
Mm,
enough, right? And so when we come home to ourselves, we follow our own instincts. And I actually love the fact that you have a separate sacred space. I have a, what I consider an altar. It's really just a desk that I have things there, that, but that's where I do my meditation. That's where I do, sacred things, or things that I don't want to share with others. It's, and that energy stays there. I can feel it when I sit there because it's set apart. So
yeah.
now, yeah. So even now, you can still have that sacred space. You are the sacred space, right?
Exactly. Yeah. These things, what I just mentioned, they're happening in my house every day. But I I create my own sacred space. Like I don't always go in the puja room every day, but um I respect, I respect my parents doing what they do, because in and at the end of the day, they are wanting to trust and believe in God in their own way. And I
Yes.
respect that. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what path we choose, but our destination, our goal is the same, right? So that's what it matters.
Yes. I love that you respect their um
Their
sovereignty.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah, their ways. Yes, because this is the thing about us coming out of the control, is not trying to control them either. Let them be who they are. We are who we are because of them, and that respect goes both ways. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen for me, because my parents don't want my parents want me to follow them, and they want me to go in their ways, and that's where the clash happens. And I'm like, okay, please just let me be, let me be who I am. I'm
Yeah.
doing it in my own way, and I am connecting with source, with divine and everything. It's just that I'm doing it in my own way, but it takes time for that generation to understand um where we come from and why we choose a different path, or why we don't follow the same things that they did.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What was your initial start to not following that path, or have you always been a little rebel?
um, the initial, I guess it was somewhere in my teens. Um, I guess everybody is like that in their teenage days, right? Like we become rebellious, and uh, I just wanted to, my blood was flowing so fast, my thoughts were flowing so fast, everything was really fast, um, and I had a lot of falls as well. And because of that, I started picking my own path because of the faults, because of the failures or whatever. And that's where I started deciding that I want to choose my own path, and I want to see an experiment
Yeah.
if I do something different. And that's where it all began. And I started trusting myself more after that, and so on and so on. And I'm here right now.
I love it. That's the key. Trusting yourself, trusting your own knowing, your own gnosis, and that's really hard. Sometimes when we've lived in cultures or with beings that try to gaslight us or take us out of our knowing. No, you think this way, you do this way, you be this way. And it does take a rebel, but you're a rebel on fire, just on fire. And when you come into the morning spaces, your energy is always so brilliant and bright. It's that the blissful, the playful energy. Now, we'll talk about that a little bit. It's not always like that. Life is somewhat like a roller coaster, right? But that is your natural state of being, is that joy and that bliss, right? I want to talk about a little bit about this was a question when I started looking up the religion, and this was a question I had as a child. Why do Hindus worship cows?
Okay. So just particularly in Hinduism, they worship cows because the cow itself is like a representative of Lord Shiva, and the cow within itself holds numerous amounts of gods within the cow itself. Like the cow itself is a god, and within the cow there are probably hundreds, or maybe I don't know how many, but there are hundreds of gods within the cow. And the energy of that cow is very high frequency and highly divine. And because of the scriptures, or I don't know where it all began, but um, thousands and probably millions and millions of years ago, and uh, when the gods were on the planet, they say the gods were on the planet, and um, that's where it all began. And the storyline started from there. And that's how the worshipping of the cow began, because the story started that many years ago. And who knows how many years ago. It's really, I don't think anybody can predict that, because we are far away from that. But
That shows how powerful tradition is, that it
yeah,
really don't know. It's passed down so many generations that it's just commonplace. Like, that's how it is. How do the Hindu people look at other people, Americans, Christians, other countries that eat cattle? Do they?
the eat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, back in the days, nobody accepted that. In the previous generation, I guess at least 30, 50 years ago, maybe, I don't know how many years, but uh, people were really against that, because Hindus themselves were pretty strict on themselves. Like they used to follow the religion very strictly. But these days, and especially this generation, as we see it, like things have changed a lot, right? People do whatever they want. Even the Hindus, they eat beef. I've seen that.
Wow.
So things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all up to individuals' decisions now. And
That's
they have this understanding with their friends and their family, where um, they do one thing in the house and they do something outside the house. So it's like uh,
I'm
nobody's being true to themselves. They're hiding.
hiding. I am so very familiar with that because I've told the
Yeah.
story, on Clubhouse. One time we were going to church, and my family, my mother and father had fought the whole way. My dad's the pastor now, keep in mind. My 6-year-old brother said when we got to the church, "Okay, everybody, let's go in and put on our happy face." Out of the mouth of babes. So he, even at that age, knew the mask we were putting on, the pretending that we were doing. So I want to talk about that. You're talking about that even now that it's going on, but there is a shift in the culture, so to speak, somewhat.
Yeah.
Sounds like it, but you
Yeah,
also
nowadays people are waking up.
that's
Like they're actually understanding that it's really harmful to really kill the cow and eat, the meat, because the cow itself holds consciousness like every creature does. And it it causes so much pain to that animal, and that is the frequency you are ingesting within yourself, and people are waking up to that reality. But it really depends on the consciousness we are vibrating on.
Mm.
It doesn't matter if I even if I tell you or teach you or guide you, it only matters how much awake you are and how willing you are to wake up into that reality.
I love that you said that. And I feel like this truth can't be taught, it can only be realized. And so
Realized, yeah.
when you realize it or know it, and you're knower, I used to say this, my knower knows. And there's been times when I would follow someone else's thoughts or someone else's guidance, and well, then come to the end of what I was doing and go, well, that wasn't for me. That was for them, but it wasn't necessarily for me. So let's talk about a little bit about life after religion. So you're still there, you're still with the family, they still practice. How have, and you've talked about this a bit along the way, but you're coming out, so to speak. Have you come out fully around the people? It's not easy to be you and be that expansive person when they kind of want to keep you in this box. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Talk about that and your struggle of doing that. And you're probably even, and I know from hearing you on Clubhouse, there's still sometimes that it's a struggle to
Yeah.
be so. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is not easy, especially because I'm still living in this environment, and especially because I live with my family. And um, there are multiple reasons that I'm still with my family. I don't want to talk about that, but it's just that uh, I had to stand up for myself. There was no other choice, you know. I had to um, ask myself first what I really wanted and what I believe in. And once I decided that, yes, this is who I am and this is what I believe in, this is what I want to do, it became very easy to set those boundaries and stand up for myself and be strong, affirmative, and tell people to, you know, kindly let me be who I am. And if you don't like it, you go your way, I'll go my way. Simple. Even if we live in the same house, it's like, mm, it is like some kind of a clash sometimes, but I'm not going to say it's all harmonious always, because there are a lot of misunderstandings, because my parents still try to control me. They still do that. And when I tell them that, they say that, when did we try to control you? You were living your life the way you wanted. I'm like, oh, come on, please, you know. But but it's okay. I understand where they come from, but sometimes it's really hard to digest that, you know, every day and out. Um, that yeah, it's ultimately depends on how strong you stand up for yourself. Nobody's going to do that for you. Nobody. You got to do it yourself. And once you start doing that, you will start changing your vibrations and frequency, and you start vibrating at a level where you start removing toxic people out of your life. Eventually, sometimes the universe does it for you, sometimes you do it yourself. And um, once that space is cleared, uh, good vibes, positive people, good energies start to flow in, like you, Shakina.
I love that. So let's talk about the energy aspect of that. So you talked about, everything is energy and energy is everything. That is truth. And so every being on this planet has an energy signature. And if that energy signature is toxic to you, you come to the point where, hey, it's got to go. I appreciate you as a being. I respect your sovereignty to be toxic. You can do that, but you can do it over there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also want to say that I respect everybody. It's not like I do not, it's not like I don't reject them. It's just that, uh, you know, my consciousness is vibrating on a different level than yours. So than theirs, I mean. And because of that, it's just very simple way of saying that you can be who you want, but the only thing I expect from you is don't try to control me, and don't try to tell me how to live your life. I want to live my life, you know?
I love it. I love it. So, what would you tell somebody that is in the religion now that's really struggling with some of the, with being themselves, with finding themselves?
Yeah. Um, First of all, like people are still, there are a lot of families and people where they are still under the control of their parents or their grandparents, because they live in the same house. Um, and even after the children get married, they still keep living in the same house. And I'm not saying you don't have to, I mean, you can, but you have to start looking within yourself and asking yourself what truly brings you freedom, not just peace, freedom. Because freedom from control mechanism, freedom from systems, freedom from things that don't resonate with you anymore, freedom from things which were not even meant to be in your life, but they were kind of forced into your life. You know, that's just you just have to ask these questions to yourself, and you have to wake yourself up. Otherwise, the universe is going to do it, and you're not going to like the way the universe is going to do it. So you better do it yourself. And you know, time never stops, it keeps flowing, and life is pretty short. We think that we have so many years. It's not true. The time goes by so fast, and these days we are seeing that, right? Time is flying by so fast. And yeah, I just hope people really learn how to, you know, if you don't know how to do it, there are so many people on YouTube, on so many other platforms. They're guiding you how to stand up for yourself, how to fight for yourself. You don't have to be all aggressive and toxic. You can do it in a very polite and harmonious way. um,
Yes,
you just have to be strong. Yeah, you have to love yourself enough to be in that state.
I love that, Yash. And there's so many beings. Yes, there's so many people on YouTube that are showing, because I feel your energy. You have such a beautiful, gentle but powerful spirit. And so, it's hard sometimes for people that have that gentleness or that kindness about them to stand up for themselves. Like, if it, in my case, if it had been my child, oh, I'll be like a bear, you don't touch my baby. But if it's me, it was a different story, so we are learning to stand up. We're learning to show up in a different kind of way, and not everybody's going to like it, and that's okay. They don't
Yeah,
have to like it.
absolutely.
They don't have to like
Yeah.
it, because we are the ones, the boots on the ground, showing the way, changing the consciousness of humanity as we know it. And there's an old saying, you keep doing what you've always done and you'll get what you've always got.
Yeah.
So we are moving, we're doing something different, and that's not going to make everyone happy. Well, I just want to say, there was so many. I wrote some things down, but I feel like I really just wanted you to talk about your experience in the religion. And I just, honor you for being able to find yourself in all of that, being able to find yourself in all of the control. We are in a control matrix, and we are breaking free, and it's not easy. We don't even, sometimes we don't. And you said time is speeding up. It feels like that. And as an older person, I can say this: you're young, but for you to have the consciousness that life is short at the age that you are is phenomenal. I remember thinking when I was young that 30 something was really old. And now I would just love to be 30. But the original template of the body was not supposed to age. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be eternal. And so we're activating that dormant DNA that we've had in there for so long, and we are the ones showing the way. And I'm not sure how
But
long
the soul never ages anyways.
it doesn't. And that's how we can
Yeah.
connect. That's how I connect with people. I don't look at their race, their gender, their age, nothing.
Yeah.
It's the soul of the person, because we didn't have a choice when we came in as to what we were going to incarnate into. I don't
Yeah.
Some people think that we do.
Not
I don't feel like we do. Like, okay, you're going back down. You're going to have another experience here, So we're here. I certainly wouldn't have chosen the family that I chose, or I love them dearly, but I wouldn't have chosen those experiences to have. So I appreciate those experiences, however toxic they may have been, and give myself gratitude that I'm still loving in all of it. And you are still loving, no matter how much they try to squeeze you and control you and constrict you. It's a beautiful thing.
yeah. Yeah, the narcissist will always try to, find a way to make you feel bad, make you think that you are the one who's wrong, but no, it's all false. Um, I've been put into situations and states where not just my family, like even my outside family and um, even friends, like some of the past friends that I had, like they used to make me feel that I was the one who was doing wrong, but they were actually playing a lot of games. And it took me a lot of time to realize that and uh, to recognize the red flags and and then to come into power and come into realization that I'm the one who's putting myself in this because I'm allowing it. And once I stop allowing it, nothing can touch me anymore after that.
I adore you. I love that, because knowledge is power, and they don't want you. The manipulators don't want you knowing they're manipulating you. The
Yeah,
blink
yeah,
strings. Um, I've been a part of some people's lives. I call them master manipulators. They really were. And when you understand when you have that expanded experience and you can see beyond what's really happening, that's when you grow in power and strength. And at the same time, we can still love the narcissist, but we don't have to have them in our lives to continue to do. And what I believe is those narcissists, they cannot generate the life force for themselves, so they try to manipulate you and drain your life,
yeah,
right?
exactly. That's
Yeah.
so true. um, yeah, they have these schemes and these techniques where we don't even realize that it's happening. It's all happening in the background, but we just have to be more aware and alert.
Yeah.
And once you start practicing that, it becomes very easy to identify that.
It really does,
And
because they're very methodical. It's a when you can see the pattern.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So let's wrap it up. And if you had to say something to just anybody out there that might be listening, because we don't even know who's going to be listening to this, where you're at on your spiritual journey and this expansion that you're having, whatever, just speak from the soul. I'd just love to hear what you would want to say to someone.
yeah. I would say that, you know, any kind of religion that you are in or you were born into, um, everything began from somewhere that we don't know. Okay. And we were born into families where we kind of had to follow religions, and then a lot of them even shifted their religions from one to another. A lot of them choose to do that because they're confused. They don't know where to go, what to do, and they think that one is good from the other, but it's all a psychological game that it's happening with us because of divide and rule, divide and conquer. That's what the world is playing with us. These stupid games, and we need to wake up from that. We need to really wake up from that and realize that these things are being staged and set up in a way where to keep us in that sleep state, to keep us in that dormant state. And it's okay to let people be where they are, but it's really important for us to follow what we are called to do. So even if it feels like really hard, and if you feel like you don't have any support, do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter. What's the max that's going to happen? You're going to die? Big deal. We're going to die anyways.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, nobody's going to live forever. Nobody's immortal here. Everybody is mortal here. Everything has its timing and their own divine timing. Everything that comes, it goes. Nothing is permanent, and the only thing that's permanent is your soul and your connection with the divine. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. And if there's anything, whether it be a person, a place, or a thing that comes between that relationship with your divinity, your divine self, for me, out it goes. It's out. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to say is our parents, our grandparents, or any of the generation that we see in this world, uh, it all began from someone trying to start the control system, okay? And everybody just followed it without even asking questions, okay? So everybody is like a sheep, following each
Yes.
other. And today nobody knows what the hell is happening, where they're going, and they don't even know they are controlled. They don't even know that. And you just have to have sympathy for such people, and you have to give time, because you can't just expect people to wake up in a single night or a single day or whatever. It takes time, practice, realization, and individually wanting to wake up. So just focus on yourself, bring that peace, cultivate that peace within you. And once you do that, you're going to reverberate that throughout the universe, not just this planet, throughout the universe. Yeah. And that kind of, that's what you'll get back from the universe, because what you reverberate is what you get back.
Yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that, because this is a part about changing your vibration, changing your frequency. You are putting out a vibration and a frequency all the time. Every being is. So when you cultivate the peace and the joy and the love inside, that's what's coming out. You don't have to intentionally think about, hey, I should do this or I should do that. It just is, right? And so
Yeah,
everywhere you go, you change the environment, right?
exactly. We affect the energy once we enter a space.
We do. We absolutely do. And I have to say, thank you so much, Yash. You have affected
Thank you.
my energy today and given me courage, actually, to keep going on, because we, for eons of time, have been hidden. And so when we become out and speak the truth, in history past, we have been killed, we have been murdered, we have been done horrible things to in the past, but we're coming forth again, and we are speaking our truth again. And it is a truth of oneness, of love, of light, of peace, joy, and happiness. And I thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're redoing everything in a much better way now. So I'm glad that we're part of this revolution. Yeah.
Yes, we are part of a reclamation of love. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. The age of love.
Age of love, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And for anyone that is listening to this, thank you for listening. Go subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, give some comments, give Yash some comments, give him some love in the chat. I know he would love seeing that. Yeah, absolutely. Big hearts, and join the family if you desire. I have a Patreon over on Clubhouse, not on Clubhouse, on Patreon, and join the family there. We're having so much fun. We're having Sunday meetings, so it was really good this week. So love to you all. Thank you again, Yash, and blessings to you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.